Hey, how's everybody doing? Just wanted to give you a walk around of my Carryall purchase. Um, this Carryall I've owned now for about maybe 7 weeks, and I've actually had custody of it. Picked it up in Kansas City 2 weeks ago tomorrow. So that's so it's fairly new to me, and I've finally got it to the point where I can like drive it, things like that. So it's I had to get new tires put on the old tires, which were 10.5 by 16s, which were massive tires, and they look great, but they were about ready to pop. So I went ahead and bought these new tires and had them put on it. I was finally able to get it off the trailer, and now I can actually do some things with it. So anyway, the history of the Carryall is it's a 5 December 1942 Carryall, according to the bill card. Not really sure of its service history with the military, although I do know that it actually served with the Pitkin, Colorado Volunteer Fire Department, and was likely sold in maybe around 1990 or 1991 to Davy Gurley of Perryton, Texas. And Davy actually restored it because this came with it. And it says restored by Davy Gurley, 1 of 1992. So, and that's when it came into this configuration. Now, the Gurley family had Eldon Gurley, who was a World War II veteran, World War II Marine MP, and then Davy, who was his son. And Eldon had 2 Jeeps, a Weasel, and a big stash of Jeep parts. And the 2 Jeeps stayed in the family. The Weasel is sitting in my garage right over there right now. I bought that from them, the family, 2 years ago. And then everyone's driving by today. Hey, I got accused of having shaky cameras, videos, don't know what you're talking about. Just kidding. Okay, he's gone now. So Davy was the son of Eldon, the World War II veteran, and he happened to pass away within a few months of Eldon dying. Obviously, he was much younger. And so Davy had this Carryall. There was a parts Carryall that was sitting in a field, which I think they used to restore this, and he had 2 M151 Fords. So let's just go and do a quick walk around on the outside of it, so you can see that. I mean, it's all basically there. Everything seems to work. Except the wipers are not there. But when it was getting, it actually didn't have a radiator cap when I bought it, but that was fixed. Some of the paint blew off when it was pressure washed. It was sitting in a stock pen, and it was covered with quite a bit of dust and dirt, and it actually picked up the smell of the stock pen. So obviously it needs the wipers, although some wipers did come with it. Again, there's no spare tire mount. Actually didn't come with a spare tire, but I happen to have an extra Dodge one sitting around. And these are the new tires. I put on Astros on it, and they seem to be pretty good so far. Haven't done much with them. And here's the back end of it. Again, they marked it as a Marine Corps vehicle because of the heritage with the family, and Eldon being a World War II veteran. So, World War II Marine. Now, I knew the history on this vehicle. I had a little bit after the Pitkin Fire Department, because in the mid-90s I found paperwork for it that it was in the World War II 50th anniversary victory parade in Fredericksville, Texas, there at the Museum of the Pacific with President Bush. And I believe my weasel was also in that parade. But there's been a few mods on it, minor mods. I'll show you those. It's got this speaker here, and then it's also got one that's mounted under here. I think that comes from the fire department days on it. And then also, if you see the above, it's got a plywood roof with canvas on top of it that seems to be doing okay. So, okay, so that's the outside. Okay, here's the driver's side of the motor, and some interesting stuff going on here. So the big question is, when was the motor made? And I'll show you the stamping on here. It's actually marked on the stamping as a T214, but a lot of people seem to think that that's not an original stamp. The stamping would put it in October of 1942, but when you go down and get the casting number, which is below the starter there, it's actually a late 44 or early 45 T214 motor according to the casting. Of course, it's got the massive generator on it. I had to put a new fuel pump on it. Runs actually pretty cool right now. Main things it had to have was the fuel pump, I'm sorry, the water pump. It needed brakes, tires, and just, you know, fuel tank drain, all new fluids, things like that. So this is the driver's side. Okay, here's the passenger side of the motor. Again, it's pretty original. Again, I'm not exactly a Dodge aficionado, and the most important thing right now is everything works. But believe this is connected to the PA system, so this is going to come out at some point here soon. But if there's anything people would like to see in there. Overall, this family was really good at mechanical stuff. They ran large 1,000-acre farms, and they had irrigation systems, and they used Ford 440 motors, so they had a big stock of those. If you remember the big Texas Jeep pick, that was from the father of Davy Eldon, and all of that went to General Taylor's, and I understand it's really helped their business kind of get going. So anyway, okay, so this is the passenger side. Okay, so here's the back end of the Carryall. The floor obviously needs to be repainted. I feel pretty sure that the gray was put on here by Davy Girling, but there's also some remnants of the fire department red. It's 3/4 inch plywood, although it is in strips, so I can't say exactly when that was done, but I know that the floor is pre-1990. The floor is pretty solid with one issue, and I'll show you that when we get there. But all of this stuff came with it. Here's a tire pump. Came with a bottle jack, which is, I don't think that's a World War II one, but I think I'm going to keep it because it's effective. There's a Bud wheel wrench. These are hog pliers, whatever the rest. I believe this goes with the something to do with the gas tank filler. And then there's some rods that are down in there that are for the Bud wheel wrench. And I also had the wiper arms. I'm not sure why they didn't put those on there, but they probably didn't need it a whole lot in the panhandle of Texas. Also, it came with the antenna segments and this antenna, and it was actually hooked up to the CB that's inside, and I believe that all functioned. It was missing the trailer socket, which I have added. So, okay, let's close this. And then as you can see, the rear seat is incorrect, but it's actually a little bit valuable. This is a CJ3A full back seat, which I'm going to replace at some point. The seat in front of it, not sure what that is. It may be another one of these. Kind of looks like it. I really don't know what it is at this point. I'm going to pull out that middle seat, and a radio is going to go in the side. And then my plan is to get correct seat frames for the rear and replace these. Although my more immediate worry is repainting the floor, so I've got to take all those panels off and then kind of get rid of all that nasty looking paint there that's cracked, which it should come off pretty quick, and then give this a coat of paint. I'll probably use some sort of like a deck paint on there. And then I think I want to build some sort of a mechanism that I could keep the spare tire back here, because I want access to the door. So it came with the antenna pieces as well. So that's the back. The regulators all are there and they all work. Probably could use some grease. Of course, the tailgate's solid. Everything seems to be in basic working order. So it's really going to be more of a dress up and maintain situation than any kind of a restoration. Again, everything functions, minus my sweaty arm. I had to put a new battery in it. That's kind of expected. So the vehicle itself, because it sat in a stock pen, there were no animals in the stock pen, but it just smelled like a stock pen. So I've rinsed it out, and I've got ironically a new car smell air freshener in here. So basically it's now kind of smells like a porta potty in here, you know, kind of like a bad smell being masked by a good smell. So that's, I think once I paint the floor in the back, I'm also going to repaint this whole section in here. I'm going to add a leather pad, which I already have. And I know the color of paint. This is all Rapco 33070. Again, I matched it right here, and it seems to be correct. This is 1991 paint, and this is 2025 paint. So I believe it's that. Now this is what's going on. Don't know what's in the, actually not really looked in the radio, the glove box here to see what's even in there. Nothing's in the glove box. Oh, this is cool. I actually had not explored this. It looks like this will just come straight off, which is good. And these are all mounted to the, looks like they're mounted to the map table, so that's a good thing. Original transmission, the thing is slow as I'll get out when driving it. It's got the interior light. I don't know if it's even hooked up at all. And here's the rear floor. Now there is an issue right here, and you see those two holes. Now those are two 2-inch holes, and we think that that's probably from the fire department era. Not sure why or what they did with them, but the fact that there's two 2-inch holes right there. So I've actually got a 2-inch piece of 2-inch circle, 3/4-inch plywood piece is coming. And I'm gonna have to round those holes out completely, get them fully round, and then I'll go ahead and put those in there. And I'll do that right before I redo the floor in here. The wall paint is actually not too bad in here, probably just a little bit dusty. The regulators are missing all the knobs on them. I think that's a pretty easy fix. But again, everything works, so that's good. Okay, we're gonna go around here and start it. Again, it seems to run pretty well. Okay, so I've not started this in 2 days, so we'll see what happens. It runs pretty good. I just jinxed myself. Again, if you're looking forward to some shaky camera stuff, not disappointing today. Looks like a little bit of water got in here, mostly in the cab. It rained pretty hard last night, but I think it's because those seals are missing. Okay. Again, door closes nicely. All the doors open and close really well. So, okay, the dash itself, still figuring everything out. Some of it's marked, some of it's not marked. I know that this button here is like a backup beeper button. It's got this added over here. This is a fuel pump. It's got data plates on here, but they've got it marked for November. It's actually a December truck. So at some point I'm going to replace that data plate. Okay, let's get it neutral. And parking brake is there. It seems to work, which is a miracle. Okay, so we'll turn her on. Turn on the fuel pump. A little bit of noise. That's with no choke. Get a little bit of choke. Again, that's after sitting for 2 days. Gas gauge works. It's got about probably 16 gallons of gas in it right now. And it's showing, it's a little high, but at least it's on. The gauges all work on it. It's got a voltmeter and an ammeter. So, again, not sure. This was probably added by somebody, is my guess. Shifts, it doesn't shift too bad, but a little bit of work to get it in gear, but it's not horrible. It just drives really slow. The fastest I've had it is about 40 going down like a 4-lane road here in town, downhill past the Mizzou Stadium. So yeah, so I'm going to put this in. Again, you can kind of hear the grinding on it, but I believe it's an original transmission. Haven't gotten to that level of detail. There's the radio units in it. There's that. This does do the blackout drive lights. Again, not sure. This is probably, yeah. Maybe that one's choke. That might be choke. Maybe that's not anything. I don't know. I'm still figuring some of this stuff out. This is always on when the vehicle's running. The lights work on it. So that's my Carryall. So let me get out of here. Again, it's mostly just kind of a horn works. So it's mostly a refresh and a accessorized and really a restoration project, which is good because I've got 2 other big restoration projects going on right now. So anyway, that's my Carryall. This is the before state, and I'm going to start working on it here at some point in the near future. So that's it. Have a good day.